Hey there, YouTube. Mountain Boy here. Just coming to you with a quick kind of overview of a new knife that the knife gods were nice enough to provide me. Well, in other words, the missus let me use the credit card more. So anyway, I wanted today to show you this new Mora Garburg, kind of a very well-known and well-respected bushcraft knife. And I just wanted to compare it to my Joker Lynx that I got about a month or two ago. And I'm still waiting on things up at my property to kind of melt out so I can go up and actually put these to use. So you're seeing kind of pristine blades in both examples, but I just wanted to show them to you. They really are very, very comparable, both in terms of size, form, function, and features. There are some important differences though. So the Joker has a 4.13 blade length versus 4.3 inch blade length on the Mora. You can kind of see in terms of thickness, the Joker's at 4 millimeters and the Mora is at 3.2 millimeters. Both have a 90-degree grind on the spine for using a ferro rod. So the handles on both are quite nice. The Joker has the micarta, which does have a little bit of traction, but it's a lot slicker than kind of your typical Mora polymer that encases the Garburg. One advantage though is that the Joker has some really beautiful jimping along the top, and this part of the micarta is actually recessed, so for your thumb it really kind of provides a lot of kind of support, both front and back and from side to side. Whereas on the Mora, there's just kind of this fluting on the handle that you rest on. As far as the price points on this, they're very comparable. So the basic Joker with a very nice leather sheath on Amazon is $71.82, and it ranges up to $119.02 when you include a Kydex sheath, and that one actually comes with a fire steel holder and a fire rod with matching micarta to the handle scales. A very, very nice package, and that's at $119. Similarly, for the Mora, this cost me about $60 before taxes with just the basic kind of polymer sheath. The MSRP on it with the polymer sheath is $90. You can see there's kind of nice retention with this. Actually, I quite like this little sheath. It's ambidextrous, just very simple. I kind of like the idea, especially for my intended use for this. But you can get a fancy one. It's kind of their survival package, and that retails at $119. So pretty much the same as the survival package on the Joker. And that's currently on sale for $76.40 on that same Amazon website. As far as steels, the Joker is a stainless, the Bowler N695, which, kind of looking at various websites, it's kind of a mid-range stainless steel, maybe not as nice as the CV30s or CV3s, but, decent. It's got a hardness of 58. The data on the Garburg is a little different. This is actually, the Garburg comes in two. This is the high carbon steel with a what they call a DLC coating on it. I don't think it's like a Cerakote. It seems like it's maybe some sort of vapor deposition or a chemical coating that is laid on it. I'll be really interested to see how this stands up. But the intended purpose of this, since this is a high carbon steel, is to kind of prevent rusting. So this is a knife that probably requires a little bit more care, keep a little sheen of oil on there. But the idea kind of with the high carbon steel is it should be a little tougher, a little less susceptible to chipping than the stainless, and should be a little bit more easy to sharpen in the field, either with like a pocket sharpener or I guess a rock or a brick if you really needed it. No jimping on it. Kind of a fairly simple blade. A little bit of a, as you can kind of see them in comparison, a little bit of a narrower blade profile, a little bit more belly on the Joker. So as far as kind of processing game or skinning, this might have a little bit more advantage. Scandi grind on the Mora versus a more traditional, I believe this is saber grind, saber flat grind on the Joker, but it does have like a kind of a dual bevel to the edge, whereas I don't know, I think the Joker, or excuse me, I think the Mora, I've heard there is a micro bevel on there, so, but it'll be interesting to kind of put them to use and try to kind of put an edge on it myself. Both have a 90-degree angle on the back spine for fire starting. They're both full tang. They both have kind of a pommel, which is kind of nice if you're kind of trying to crush things, or if you're kind of scraping to make kind of wood flour as part of fire starting. The weights on it, on paper, the Joker is 6.7 ounces and the Mora is 8.7 ounces, but I think the literature might be including the sheath in the Mora. As far as the feel, they're really close. If I had to say, I think the Mora might be just a touch lighter. I think one thing that's really interesting to talk about is kind of the manufacturing design philosophies behind each of these knives. The Joker is made in, excuse me for the pronunciation, Albacete, Spain, and it's a kind of mid-sized industrial town in southeastern Spain that has a multiple number of knife makers. And they also have a tradition of knife making that goes back to like the 1600s. Just looking online, I was even able to find where they've got a museum dedicated to the history of knife making in the city. And I think what comes with that is not just, you got a factory, it also means that you have people that specialize in heat treatment, and you have another company that might specialize in doing the laser cutting for the steel blanks. Maybe that's why kind of like with Joker and Kudman, you see all the same or 695 steel being used, because it's kind of, the blanks are kind of coming from one company that is used to working with that material. And then you also have a lot of people who are very versed in how to kind of grind the micarta, how to kind of polish and blend all of the handle materials. I mean, you can see there's, imperfections. It's not like you've got like CNC milled scales that are just slapped on there. It's like you've got scales on there, and then the whole thing is ground down and polished as one piece. So that's very different than the Mora knife. The factory there, they have like 125 employees and they make 4 million knives a year, 25,000 knives a day. So high degrees of automation. And so when you're kind of looking at the grind, it's a machine that's grinding 10 or 20 blades at a time. And the human interaction is just loading and unloading the machine. Whereas with the Joker, they're grinding each of these blades like one at a time. Now, admittedly, it's on an automated grinder to kind of get this first bevel, but then it's like a person who's doing like this second bevel. So yeah, definitely very different knife approaches to knife making. Same thing with the handle materials. Here's kind of your classic Mora knife 511, and they're using the same overmolding machine for the handle materials as with the Garburg. I suspect the Garburg gets more attention. I mean, you can see there's more labor. This has been ground down, but with probably a machine that kind of grinds this back access. But the idea is they want to use the same production line to make this knife as they use to make this knife. With the Joker line, they've got a whole variety of knives that some have wood handles or staghorn, different sizes. And yeah, they have equipment. They have some like CNC stuff, but it's really kind of people doing all the work, doing the individual machining at each step along the way. Whereas with the Mora, it's a production line, and it's like, how can you vary the production line to kind of handle that full spectrum of knives? So anyway, I thought that was just really interesting. I'd love to do some tours of knife towns. Like I live outside of Portland, and I've seen Benchmade in Oregon City, and there's also like a Gerber plant here and a Kershaw plant. I'd love to go to Maniago, Italy. Lion Steel's there. A bunch of companies are there and have a similar ecosystem to what's in Albacete, Spain. But then there's like Seki City in Japan, and I think Sologen in Germany. It'd be cool to kind of go and just try to understand how did these knife cities and communities kind of work as a system. So as far as kind of long term, I'm looking forward to be able to put both of these through their paces. I do believe that the Joker will probably be the little bit better bushcrafter. And I think because they've just got a little bit wider spine, I think it'll baton a little bit better. I think the micarta will stand up a lot better than the polymer in the Garburg. You can kind of see here, this is my Gerber principle. And, just kind of using it just a couple days and using it as a camp knife, really kind of causes, a lot of wear and tear on that rubber and plastic overmold. And I kind of suspect the same will happen around here. But I'll shoot some video of it. I'll kind of show you with both of these in action. And I also, I'll kind of bring in, as a comparison, the Bushcrafter, the Benchmade Bushcrafter, and see how all of them kind of hold up and kind of put them through their paces. So anyway, thank you for watching. And if you have the time, please like, share, and subscribe. Take care.